Yo, what's happening, Cucumber Squad, and welcome back to the Fable Sphere. Before we even get started, as you know, link to my website's down in the pinned comment. Click on that, join the sphere, and join all the Cucumber Squad in the sphere as well, in all the different groups. You can interact with me, you can do reaction requests there as well. It's all really cool. My website's great, and it's going to grow, and we're going to add a lot more entertaining things for you guys over there. So make sure you go do that. Now, Gorillaz, man. Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood. This is a skip the line reaction thanks to Campbell Cravens. I really appreciate that. We're still going to get to your series, don't you stress. But I'm talking to you behind the scenes about that. Yeah, Clint Eastwood. I know Gorillaz pretty well. I know that they're a band. I never used to listen to Gorillaz. They weren't my kind of music, but I know that they had a couple of really, really popular songs that a lot of people liked, right? And I also know that I think they were like these cartoon figures, if I remember correctly. They were never on my playlist, as I told you before. Like I was always to the rap and the classical and that kind of thing. So yeah, man, I'm very happy to go down this Gorillaz discography because I've never done it before. So let's see what we got, man. So Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood, Campbell Cravens. Let's rock and roll. This is an unhappy song.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got.
Okay, so off the bat, I know this song. I've never ever broken down the song. I've never gone into the actual lyrics of the song. The only reason I know this song is because this used to play on the radio like crazy, and it used to stick in your head. Just that chorus used to stick in your head. And I'm happy, feeling sad, I got sunshine. Na 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 da da. Come on, man. This is like a super famous song. Years back, that they used to kill this on the radio. But let's actually dive into it, man. I'm actually very happy to dive into Gorillaz. Let's go.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Nah, I couldn't be there. Nah, you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare. Intangible. Bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes who you think is really kick.
Yo, I didn't even realize that this was actually rap, man. Genuinely, I honestly didn't. That just goes to show you like how not into Gorillaz I was. I didn't even realize that. I mean, this is like some spitting bars here.
In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine. In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Nah, I couldn't be there. Nah, you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare. Intangible. Bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture too, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe spiritual hero.
Wait a second. Okay, this is quite interesting. Like the lyrics are quite interesting. I kind of feel like they're uplifting, but I kind of feel like there's a lot of doubt in these lyrics. Where I kind of feel like I think that they're playing on the idea of perception and how you perceive life and how you know, like what you go through in life and how you do things in life and the norms in life are kind of like just your perception. Even when he says like the physical, the spiritual, like what part of that, like what are you going to choose? What do you choose? What do you think this life is actually about? Like it's all down to your perception. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they're sort of referencing this with regards to like depression, or referencing this with regards to maybe the other side in terms of drugs and shit like that, or in terms of just like introspection essentially. But I kind of feel like this whole song, or this beginning part of the song, has got to do with sort of like your interpretation and your perception on life, and whether that is real or it's altered or it's a simulation to certain degrees. I don't know. That's actually pretty interesting.
Didn't think, so I command you to panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe spiritual. Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to those, the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I'm
for those, life is for those with the definition of what life is. And he's sitting with like a t-shirt with the virus, essentially.
Cool, maybe spiritual. Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to those, the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on the hype shit. You like it? Gun smoke, you're righteous with one toke. You're psychic among no possess you with one go.
I like the way that he's playing with that entire life scheme, that in terms of like life is priceless, but then it's also it could be fictional, it could be a virus. I don't like. This is like almost like a super philosophical song.
Righteous with one toke, you're psychic among no possess you with one go.
Happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. Ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got.
Is he saying I ain't happy, or is he saying I am happy? It sounds like on this part, it sounds like he says I ain't happy, which kind of also makes sense.
Is coming on, ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on, it's coming on.
It could also just be like a conscious awakening. Like I ain't happy, I'm feeling sad, but like I've got sunshine in a bag. So basically it's like I've got the light, I've got what I need to sort of be happy. And he says, but not for long because the future is coming on. So it's kind of like a self-awareness. So it's kind of like maybe a mental breakthrough, sort of like a divine moment where you're coming out into like a conscious sort of sphere, conscious sort of spectrum, where you're going to look at life differently and things are going to open up for you in terms of opportunities and things like that. Like that's kind of like, where is he in the state of depression, and is he going to get out of that state of depression out of a conscious awareness, or is he going to get out of that state of depression out of, you know, maybe the sunshine in the bag is not enlightenment or knowledge, maybe it's actually drugs. Maybe it's drugs that sort of takes him into a different sort of mental space that makes him feel better about life, essentially. I'm not sure, but this is quite a puzzle piece of a song, which I really like.
It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
The essence, the basics, without it you naked. Allow me to make this childlike in nature. Rhythm, you have it or you don't, that's a fallacy, I'm in them. Every sprouting tree, every child of peace, every cloud and sea. You see with your eyes and see destruction and demise, corruption in the skies from this.
I love what he's saying here, man.
It's a fallacy, I'm in them. Every sprouting tree, every child of peace, every cloud and sea. You see with your eyes and see destruction and demise, corruption in the skies from this enterprise. Now I'm sucked into your lives through rust, so not as muscle, but percussion we provide. With me as
that's a super philosophical line. He's basically saying that what you see, right? So you see from like the beauty of nature, from the seas, the skies, you know, even like the corruption and all of that sort of intertwined there. It's like it's almost like he's saying from a child, like from a baby, you are taught to perceive that in a certain way. You are taught to look at those things as beautiful. You are taught what corruption is. You are taught what's good and bad, and those kind of things. So he's playing heavily on the philosophical over here, in the sense that I kind of feel like he's speaking of, like, is what you see what you really seeing, or is what you see what other people have passed down and down and down and down from generation to generation to indoctrinate you into believing that that's what you're seeing, essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything in your life, is this real as in real, or is it a simulation, or is it just how it's been perceived to you for the benefit of the corrupt that want to control you? Does that make any sense? I think that's where he's kind of going with that.
Into your life through Russell, not his muscles, but percussion he provides with me as a guide. Y'all can see me now cause you don't see with your eye, you perceive with your mind, that's the end. So I'ma stick around with Russ and
you don't see with your eye because you perceive with your mind, right? So all your eyes are doing are just taking in that data, right? But how that data is being extrapolated, that's all in your mind. But your mind, right, is kind of malleable, right? And there can be levels of like malevolence to it where people can corrupt it. Do you know what I mean? So come on, man.
the eye, you perceive with your mind, that's the end. So I'ma stick around with Russ and be a mentor. Bust a few rhymes so muzzle public remember. But the thought is, I brought all this so you can survive when law is lawless. Feeling sensations that you thought was dead, no squealing, remember.
Hey, happy, I'm feeling.
That's where he's playing with that. So the song is I've never dived into the song like this. This is pretty insane.
Few rhymes so muzzle public remember. But the thought is, I brought all this so you can survive when law is lawless. Feeling sensations that you thought.
So like so it's basically saying, so I'll tell you what a thought is so you can survive when the law is lawless. That's fire, man. So it's basically saying that, you know, I get to dictate and I get to indoctrinate what the thought is, because when the law is lawless, being the people who actually run the show, when the law, right, when they say this is the law and order, but the law and order are the corrupt ones, you know, so when the law is lawless, right, so that you don't actually get to see what's really happening behind the scenes. It's all part of the system, and you kind of become like these drones that just follow the system, and you perceive that as like that's what's right because that's what I've been taught is right, right? And it's kind of like a system that's been designed to control the masses so that there isn't any sort of upheaval against the law that's lawless, right? Against the corrupt politicians or the corrupt people. That's insane.
Was dead, no squealing, remember.
Hey, happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. Hey, happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. My future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. My future is coming.
Just a quick thought on that in terms of that chorus with regards to that. It kind of feels like all of the negative and positive stereotypes that are fed to you by your parents or by the system or by conservative traditionalists, right? So if you had to go and hear, okay, wait.
Not for long, I got sunshine.
Heart was dead, no squealing, remember.
Hey, happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag.
So it's like, I'm happy, I'm not feeling glad, I got sunshine in a bag. So it's basically like saying that, okay, you're not happy, but then people are telling you, but why aren't you happy? You've got everything to be happy, right? So it's like they're telling you you've got sunshine in a bag, like, you know, you've got everything you need to be happy with, essentially. So it's kind of like he's kind of like, that's a battle in his head where I'm not happy, but I'm being told that I should be, right?
Useless, not for long. The future is coming on.
And then also saying I'm useless, but not for long because the future is coming on. So people saying you're useless, like, you know, that kind of thing. It's like you're useless, you're no good to the society unless, you know, you do X, Y, and Z, and then your future's coming on. So it's kind of like he's playing with all those different things. I don't know. Like, I might be going a bit too far over here. But I kind of feel like he's in very different spaces over here, that he's fighting against like a systematic sort of a mentality versus his own wanting to be or in his own kind of lane, wanting to be his own person, but being suppressed in a way, essentially. So I don't know if he's gonna trying to break out of that, or if it's just that's, you know, he's just monotonously telling himself that as always he's just a drone.
I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. My future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. My future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. My future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. My future.
See, that's going into it. It's like the young kid that's, you know, that goes out and actually kills the Gorillaz, kills the but why Clint Eastwood though? Don't tell me this shit is like tied into like the good, bad, and the ugly. Like that would be unbelievably clever. Like Clint Eastwood being the good, bad, and the ugly, like that movie, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Essentially from like a corrupt system perspective, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly being the evil. I mean, if that's that tie-in, that's mad.
It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, my future.
Breaking out from that indoctrinated system. You can see from the video is pretty insane as well. The harmonica is sick. I like that harmonica. Okay, so my perception of this track is basically it's actually fighting against the system, fighting against a specific mindset that you've been taught, a specific mindset that's been indoctrinated, right, in order to control you, right? So I kind of feel like almost like they're zombified to a certain degree because the system wants to keep you zombified to a certain degree so that you remain compliant, and then trying to break out of that is like, you know, it takes like a hell of a lot of like work. It takes actually breaking out of that specific mindset, breaking out of those those traits and habits that's been ingrained in you by society going back generations, right? And then it's kind of like that fight against the system. I don't know, that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm not entirely sure if this goes elsewhere, but that's where I think we're going with this. It's like this conscious awakening that you can just be whoever you want to be if you can break out of that systemic sort of idea that's been sort of indoctrinated into your life and other people's lives going back how long? I don't know. But it's a pretty cool concept, very philosophical concept, and I'm sure we could go many different ways with this. But yeah, I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed that. If there's anything else by Gorillaz, man, I know they got a big discography. Send it my way, because if this is what they're doing, I'm down for this shit. I'm 100% down for this shit. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, peace out, I'll catch you later. Peace.